we at The Real Deal never like to give you the same old show week after week. We like to keep you on your toes, assuming that you watch the show standing up. So now for something completely different featuring Eric Conrad, a familiar face on the show.
When most students are learning about physics or psychology, freshman TCOM major Eric Conrad spends Monday evenings in a different sort of night class.
As soon as I walked through the door, they looked at me and said, "Get him in armor, get him out there."
Conrad is the newest member of Muncie's Society for Creative Anachronism, a group devoted to reenacting life in the Middle Ages.
Did you film all of that?
We actually have an official motto,
Nice.
and it is history as it should have been.
In charge of greeting outsiders, Sarah Klein.
In the society, I'm known as Solveig Inkira Sveinsdottir.
And that's the theory behind the Society for Creative Anachronism. Klein, who's a customer service rep by day, says it's like a total immersion in history: names, costumes, meals, and recreation.
We do pretty much everything people would have done in the Middle Ages. We do animal husbandry, cooking, dancing, sewing, leatherworking. If it was done, we do it, minus the Inquisition. We leave that at home.
Now, if this were really the 1400s, I wouldn't be standing here holding a shield. I'd probably be in the kitchen making food. But this group says they try as hard as they can to include everyone.
Kids are especially welcome. This is Sarah Klein's daughter, Emily. For now, she just likes playing the medieval games.
I usually playing against my imaginary friend, and I usually win.
Emily's mom says she's used to getting funny looks.
People think we're a little strange, but once they realize we're not crazy, we're just having a good time, they pretty much are, yay, they think it's a neat thing.
And Conrad thinks it's a very good thing. He says it's his only chance to escape from the stress of everyday life.
Really, it's just a lot of fun to dress up and pretend to be somebody else for a while. Sometimes you just got to get out there and beat on something, so.
The group now has more than 40 members. He's working on recruiting others to join him in traveling back in time. In Muncie, I'm Katie Bostorff.
I can safely say I learned something new. Speaking of new, Sydney Sorrell is here to tell you all what is opening in theaters this weekend.
Looking to hit the theaters this weekend but not sure what to see? How about you grab your best bud and try I Love You Man. It's a comedy from John Hamburg, the same man responsible for Along Came Polly, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and this generation's cult classic Zoolander. The movie is about a man named Peter, played by Paul Rudd, who is a real estate agent and gets engaged to his girlfriend Zoe, played by The Office's Rashida Jones. However, there's a problem. Peter has no male friends close enough to serve him as his best man. So what does he do to fix this situation? Peter shamelessly puts himself out there by going on some very awkward man dates. He finally finds Sidney Fife, played by Jason Segel, an interesting individual who befriends Peter. But the more time the bromance grows, the more Peter's relationship with his fiancée suffers. This forces him to choose between his pal and the love of his life. Who would you choose? Next we have Duplicity. That plot line sounds a little too familiar. Two different spies competing against each other that just happen to fall in love. The movie stars Julia Roberts, who's been out of the limelight for a while, and Clive Owen, the British hunk from movies such as Sin City and Shoot 'em Up. Their main goal? Pull off the ultimate con job against their respective bosses without getting caught, in more ways than one. The movie's tagline seems simple enough, catchy enough to go out and see. Outwit, outspy, outsmart, outplay, then get out. Finally, have you ever made a time capsule? If you have, you probably didn't make the one that Nicolas Cage's character finds in The Knowing. The story's about a teacher, Cage, who opens up a time capsule that's been discovered at his son's elementary school. In the capsule are some chilling facts waiting to unfold. Some of these facts have already occurred, such as historical tragic events, and others are predictions for the current future. Cage's character seems to believe that these predictions involve him and his family, and he'll do anything just to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thank you kindly, Sydney. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Real Deal. Come, stop your crying. It'll be all right. Just take my hand. Hold it tight. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. I'm Bernardo Madrigal. Thank you for watching.